thank you for joining today. I will be talking about the new era of hotel websites. And I want to unpack some of the newest technology really that allows hotel websites to be very much different to how they were built in the past. And actually, to begin with, I want to make a comparison between, if I just go to the next slide, the old world and the new world, or the emerging world. So the old world was very much built on WordPress. I have a statistic here that 455 million sites have been built on WordPress, which of 1.3 billion websites in total. And it's actually a legacy system, and it relies on a ton of plugins, and it's a bit cumbersome to use. But it's the way it was done in the past. The old world, there was a lot of code. So you needed a website developer who had a lot of technical experience to build it, and they built a lot of code. And unless you had a lot of experience in software development, you weren't able to look into it and change things and edit it. It was as it was. Also, these sites often had very poor speed scores. So we've seen this in some of the measurements we've done with hotels, but often some of the fundamentals are missed when building a site that should be quick and fast. So things like minification, things like optimizing images. These are things which are essential, but are not done with these kind of older sites. And just to give you a quote from Google, it's a really interesting statistic. Every second delay in mobile page load conversions can fall by up to 20%. So it's really important, but a lot of the old sites are not doing it great. Also, these old websites are really hard to update and to add sections. So yes, you could probably maybe change the text, you could change the images, maybe add an additional offer or add a room. But beyond that, it was really hard to actually change the structure of the website, the content, the storytelling, maybe even the design. It was basically the same website until maybe you have the website for a few years and then you get a new website. But it's very much stuck. And of course, because it's so dependent on code, the development of a website in the old world was very much led by a web developer. And often, but not always the case, the web developer isn't from the hospitality industry, so they don't really know the context. They're often also building websites for, let's say, shops and cinemas. But there are some web developers specialized in the hotel industry. But even then, they're not you. So they're not the hotel. They're not in the hotel. They don't understand the details of the hotel. And so what we've seen is marketing managers have to communicate what they want, and then that's created by a web developer, often needing the assistance of a web designer as well. And as you can imagine, with all of these different parties involved, it becomes very expensive to design and create a good website or a good hotel website. So we often see these are big projects. A lot of time goes into it. A lot of people are involved, but also there's a lot of time investment that goes into coordinating and having meetings, having these email threads. So it's actually very expensive to build a website, hence why it's done so rarely, every 2-3 years. And finally, once you have your website, there's the back end, there's no developments. So you're using the old technology until the new website is built. So now I've painted kind of a picture of the old world. I want to paint a picture of kind of what the new world looks like. And this is already here. So one, there's no more WordPress. So the legacy systems are gone. And what we see now is instead visual interface editors, where basically you almost like Photoshop for a website. Because of this, there is no code. You don't have to be building code. There is, of course, it does create code, but you never see that code. To make changes, you don't need to look at the code. You're basically independent of the code, which makes it way easier. You don't need to be or have a master's in computer science to change your website anymore. And in general, this is where the software world is going, right? So we're seeing that that technology is allowing us to have these no-code platforms where you build something without actually having to code it, which is really nice. We also see that the New World, the sites are built with top speed scores. So basically, there are a lot of things going on in the background which optimize the speeds. So things like I said around minification and things like that. But also, for instance, we know one of the reasons why websites load slowly is just poorly optimized images. So, for example, something that we do just as an example is when we load an image, we load 5 versions of that image and only load the one which is the right size for the visitor. So they don't have to load a massive image, which is, let's say, way too big for their screen and is therefore too big. Also, it's really easy to add sections and pages. I'll show you how this actually works in a second, but it gives you the freedom to actually, for the first time, to really move things around your website, change how it looks, change layouts, change designs. You're no longer stuck with the website that was developed a few years ago. So that you get a lot of freedom with that. And because of that, it's also marketing manager led, which I think is really interesting from the scope of what kind of skills are needed. But you no longer need to be the master of code. And because of this, because it's just quite low cost software as well, the website development is a lot cheaper, and you don't need to be forking out huge sums to get a new website, and you don't need to be paying a web developer to maintain it. And of course, because it's got its technological backbone to it, there are constant developments being made, so it's using the latest software. So you don't have to worry about updating it and maintaining it. That's all done. So now I've kind of painted just a very broad picture of the old world versus the new world. I actually want to show you like visually what the new world looks like. So I have just an example. I will use our website builder just as a frame of reference. And so I'm going to show three different things today. The first one is editing content visually. So I'll just open this site here. I've actually built 2 sites last week, or two one-page sites to use today. So I'm going to use this one now. This is the Hotel Champ platform, by the way. And I'm going to edit it. Here is the website. And you can actually see if I want to change something, I simply just have to click on it and I can change it. So let's get rid of this text. I can do that. Let's make this text bigger or bolder, or you want to change the alignment, or you want to move things around, you can do that. So this is some of the simple things, but let's say I want to change this image. I can just edit the image. If I replace it, you can actually see here we have an image library, and I can just bring up another image. Let's take a lighter image. So it's really easy to actually change things there. And actually, you can see there was an image library attached. Also, another interesting thing or a useful thing with the visual editors is you can actually do things like copy and paste, which is an insanely useful feature. So I have this, actually, I'll just show you. We have this block here. And let's say I want to add another one in. I'll just show you how that works. Super simple. I click on the card, duplicate it. And there we go. It's created the card again, which we can edit. And what you'll notice also is these animations. If you see here, there's animations applied to it. Those are added as well. So that's all taken care of, and it's all responsive. So if I just show you here, this is a responsive design. So it's all as you would expect. Great. So now we'll actually go to the other site that I mentioned. So let me go now to this site. This is a hotel, a fictional hotel in Austria. And if I just open it, you can just see here how it looks. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a trick we can do to add in more content. So let me go to the bottom. We have here this offers section. And we have here these 2 offers. Now, this is actually in a grid. So you can see this is a 2-column, 1-row grid. And it's really easy to actually add more offers. So let's add let's make it 1 column. You can see now it takes up the full width. Or let's, for example, add in a 3rd column. You can see it all automatically scales. And now using the trick I just showed, we can actually copy across. So now you can see I have 3 offers. Just show you how that looks. But let's say actually we want to have that on 2 rows. What we can do here, I'll just add in a 4th column. And now we can make it 2 by 2. And now you can see here we have the offers laid out like that. So it's really easy to actually add in content. You also see there the animations are applied, and, as I showed earlier. While I'm on animations, actually, I can show you that. So here's also, you can see as I scroll, there is an animation here. So this image stays fixed. And you see this moves. And we also see this moves as well, and this all fades in. So actually, animations are insanely easy to do, and you don't need a designer or a developer to do this. So if I'll just show you this example here, if I click on animation, we actually have a scroll animation, so it fades in. And let's just change the setting here so we can see how it looks now. We can make it way more intense. And now you can see it goes like that. So you can also play around with the animations, and it's super intuitive. So that's point 1. I just wanted to show you, like, with these new editors, it's super easy to visually edit your website. The next thing I want to talk about is switching out designs. In this case, I'm going to go back to the site I have here, and I want to show you a few cool tricks. So in this case, we have here a gallery. Let me edit it. We have this gallery here. I'll show you in preview how it looks. And what we can do with the gallery is, if I click it, we actually have different layouts. So if I click on this here, you can see you can choose what type of gallery you like. So you could have it like this, and you can see how it looks. You can have it with circles and all sorts. Let's keep it simple for now. And you can also do small changes, like, let's say you want to create space. I'll just show you how that looks. So just with around 30 seconds of work, you can create new designs, new layouts. And that's the case for a lot of the different elements. So if I just show you here at the bottom of not this one, I'll show you the other one. If I just show you here at the bottom of this one, we have here the footer. And here we have a map. So let me go back to the editor. Oh. If I just click on the map, you can see, like with the gallery, we also have options here. So you can actually start changing the designs, the layouts, and you can switch it out really easily. Here you can see the contact form. We can also change that as well. So we can make it like this, like this. So you can have lots of fun moving things around. And that also even relates to the header here. So if actually, let me go back to this site again. Oh. You'll notice actually, as I scroll through, if you watch here, you'll notice that as I go through the site, the different sections of the page are highlighted. And this actually is automatically handled. But we can change this as well. So if I just edit this, you can actually see we can choose from a range of header layouts, and we can just swap it out and use a different one. So it's that easy. You don't have to be building it from scratch. It's just exchanging it. And you can also see we also have a ton of settings here. So let me click on this. Oh, wrong one. Yeah, we also can change, for instance, here as well, how this looks. So we can make it let's say like this, with more circular buttons, square buttons. We can do all sorts. So it's really easy to switch things out, and you can see that how that works. That's the second thing I want to show you of how it works, and hopefully you're getting slowly building a picture of how these new tools work. And I'm just going to show you one last thing, which I find really helpful, which is to add sections. So if I just go back to this website that I built the other day, actually it's got 2 pages, so I can take you to the rooms page, and you can just see how that looks. And what I'll do, actually, let's say I want to add at the bottom of my rooms page an offer, so that people can add an offer. If I just go, let me get out of the edit mode. If I just add section, you can actually choose from a library of sections. So you could say, okay, I want to have this here, or I want to have this here, or this. So you can actually choose from a series of pre-built sections. In this case, I wanted to do offers. So let's take packages and offers. Let's take this one here. So we have these 3 offers. Let's just save that. You'll notice that it applies our fonts and everything there. One thing you can actually just, once you've selected it, you can just edit it. So in this case, I'm going to create a little bit of space above it. So let's create a bit of space here. You can see it's not rocket science, super simple. I'll just make it so that it's in line with this. And yeah, it's that simple. And then you can just, in this case also, I'm going to change these buttons as well. So you can see if I click revert to global design, it will take the standard button styling for my website. So I'll just do that here. So yeah, you can see it's super easy to actually add in content and transform your website. So there you can actually see what I've just built. Also, another trick which I think is really cool is if I, sorry, I'm clicking too much. If I go here, I can actually move this section up. So you can actually now see that this section is moved here. So you can actually start to play around with the structure and the order of your website. Maybe you want to see, do more people click on your offers if they are placed higher on the homepage, for instance. You have the ability to move things around in literally a few clicks. And now you can actually, I'll just preview how that looks. So we can see how it looks now. I made in the last week, so it's really quite simple to do. So in that case, I've shown the 3 examples. I just wanted to give a kind of visualization of what it actually is I'm talking about. And now I want to talk finally about some of the implications for hotel marketeers. As we discussed, it allows the marketeer to actually make changes without a developer. And I think one of the emerging skills will be to be focused on how can we improve the website experience over time? How can we continuously optimize it? Maybe improve the layout, the storytelling, the structure. And because we don't need website developers to make changes, we can now do this, which I think is really powerful. Also, it means we can start to think about changing the website for different periods of time. Maybe around Christmas, you want to have a theme around Christmas, or Easter, a theme around Easter. Or maybe if you have a really strong offer, maybe that goes to the top of the website and the rest goes down. Maybe if you have a new update in the hotel, you want to show that somewhere prominently. So we can actually start thinking of the website as a more fluid construct, which we can start to create, to adjust over time. It's not the same thing over a long period of time. And also you can experiment, which I think is really fun. You can see I had a lot of fun experimenting with those 2 websites, just building different layouts. But you can really just spend a bit of time playing around with it and seeing what you can come up with. And you'll be surprised, you can create some really nice things. There's a lot you can do with these new tools. If you are curious in learning more or want to any tips, just reach out to me. I'm happy to have a call with you or by email. Thank you very much.